Hey, welcome to Firescale Audiobooks. If you enjoy our audiobooks, please consider subscribing to the channel. Also, feel free to share your review in the comments section below.
Just as Lin Lei entered the space, Xiaomi ran over, wagging her little snow-white tail and saying sweetly, "Master, I've been waiting for a long time. What delicious food do you want to make? I can't wait any longer." Lin Lei smiled as she looked at this little foodie. She really suspected that when she left the space in the future, she would be cheated away just for a bite of food. How about eating steamed buns? Lin Lei thought that it had been a long time since she had eaten steamed buns. Before the apocalypse, she loved eating steamed buns the most. For this reason, she even specially learned from the steamed bun shop Annie at the entrance for half a year. "Whatever master makes, I will eat." Xiaomi has never eaten a steamed bun before. Lin Lei took out the flour, started the noodles, and took out the fat and lean meat. She used the blender to chew it and then used the seasoning to prepare it. Looking at the lush vegetables in the space, she picked a handful of tender celery. After washing it, she cut into pieces and used the blender to break it up for later use. After seeing that the noodles were ready, she went to prepare the celery and meat fillings. Following the rotation of Lin Lei's hands, round and white steamed buns came out one by one. They were arranged in a very cute array. After steaming for 20 minutes in the top drawer, the buns were out of the pot. A smell of meat drifted out. Xiaomi smelled the smell and ran out. Lin Lei gave it 2 buns. This bun was too big. 2 buns should be enough for Xiaomi to eat. "Xiaomi, I'm going out. I'll come back tomorrow morning. Eat slowly. I'm in the kitchen. I even left 10 buns for you." Lin Lei deliberately made more buns for Xiaomi. It would be good if Xiaomi could leave the space. After Lin Lei left the space, she put the steamed buns on the table and went into the kitchen to prepare the dipping sauce. "It's time to eat, hubby," Lin Lei shouted into the room. Song Yi immediately got up when he heard his wife calling out to him. The moment he stepped out of the room, he smelled the delicious smell of meat buns. The two of them were very quiet during the meal because of their previous awkwardness. They did not say much. Lin Lei was full after eating 6 buns while Song Yi ate 18. The buns made by his wife were really fragrant. Song Yi burped before letting go of his stomach. He got up and cleaned the table before washing the dishes. Seeing Song Yi come out, Lin Lei poured a bowl of spiritual water for him and placed it on the table. Seeing that he drank it directly, Lin Lei read a book beside him and accompanied him. Because of the previous incident, the two of them had a tacit understanding to read the book in their hands and quietly waited for the spiritual spring to take effect. After drinking the spring water this time, Song Yi did not feel as painful as yesterday. His body was much more comfortable than yesterday, so he planned to take a shower. "Wife, I'm going to take a shower. If you're sleepy, go to bed early." Lin Lei nodded. Seeing that Song Yi got up to take a shower, she knew that there was nothing much going on, so she went back to her room to sleep. Too many things had happened today, so she fell asleep soon after lying on the bed. Song Yi went back to his room and saw his wife lying there asleep. He was also tired, so he reached out to hug his wife and fell asleep. The next day, Lin Lei woke up very early. She went to the space to wash her face, then she stewed a pot of rice and was lazy to cook. "Xiaomi, eat the fried rice." Xiaomi nodded. The steamed buns that her master made yesterday were really delicious. Xiaomi realized that no matter what it was, it could be made into delicious food in Lin Lei's hands. Lin Lei fried a big pot of assorted fried rice, leaving some space for Xiaomi to put away before leaving the space. Song Yi also woke up after his wife woke up. He did not feel tired at all. He looked at the time and went out for a run at 5 o'clock. He did not forget to make an appointment with his wife. After Lin Lei left the space, she did not see Song Yi. She took out the kimchi and placed the rice on the table. It was almost 6 o'clock, and he was not back yet. Just as Lin Lei was about to go out and ask the others if something had happened in the factory, she knocked on the door and saw Song Yi enter with a head full of sweat. "Hubby, where did you go? I almost went out to look for you." Lin Lei complained softly. She was really worried that something had happened to Song Yi. It turned out that unknowingly, he had already taken root in her heart and sprouted. He had grown into a towering tree. Song Yi teased, "My dear wife, don't give me the cold shoulder anymore. Last night at dinner, he was afraid that his wife would still be angry with him. So he kept eating steamed buns. Lin Lei said anxiously, "Stupid pig, I'm not talking to you. If you don't know how to make conversation, then I'll talk. Why are you so dumb? You look so handsome for nothing. Hurry up and wash up for dinner. Don't be angry. Next time I know, if you're angry, I'll coax you until you're not angry anymore." After saying that, she turned around and went to wash her face. Her wife's fried rice was so fragrant, and she needed to eat more later. In the fried rice, Lin Lei put eggs, shrimp, carrots, and chopped some green onions. The color, aroma, and taste were all well-rounded. Lin Lei stopped eating after eating 2 bowls. She kept adding food to Song Yi's plate. Song Yi ate the rest of the fried rice. It was 5 kilograms of rice. "Wife, if I get the key today, I'll go home and show you the house." After saying that, he went into the kitchen to wash the dishes. "Okay, I got it, husband. I'm tired. I'll go back to the house and sleep for a while." "All right, the kimchi on the table is for old Zhao." Song Yi finished washing and saw that his wife was resting. He did not dare to disturb her and went straight to work. When he passed by the cafeteria, he gave the kimchi to old Zhao. Old Zhao was overjoyed and only praised him for marrying a good wife. Song Yi waited at the door of the family building early in the morning and saw Song Yi coming out. She immediately hid. She had just offended Song Yi yesterday, so now was not the time to meet him. Song Yi secretly decided that when she got rid of Lin Lei, she would go over to comfort Song Yi when he was in the most pain. She would definitely succeed. Seeing Li Jian come out from afar, Song Yi walked towards him. She was afraid that others would notice, so she passed by and stuffed a note into Li Jian's hand. Seeing that Li Jian had received the note, Song Yi returned to the clinic. Li Jian opened the note and read, "There is no one in the clinic this morning. You came over to discuss that matter. If you dare not come, you will have to bear the consequences." Li Jian thought to himself, this be *TCH. She even threatened him. He would see how she would be dealt with later, so he quickly went to apply for leave. Song Yi kept an eye on the time. Today, Dr. Xiao went to hang a drip for someone. He usually came back in the afternoon. At 8 o'clock, Li Jian rushed to the clinic. Seeing that there was no one around, he turned over the sign on the door and changed it to that side for a rest. Then, he opened the door and entered the room. Seeing that Li Jian had come, Song Yi was half relieved. As long as he came, it meant that he would help her. "Why are you so late? I've been waiting for you for almost an hour," Song Yi complained. Li Jian looked around. "Where's old Xiao? How dare you ask me to come in broad daylight?" "There's no need to look. There's no one here." Old Xiao went to hang the bottle. After Song Yi finished speaking, she saw Li Jian plug the door in. She hurriedly ran over. "What are you doing? Why did you plug the door in?" She ran too slowly. When she reached the door, Li Jian plugged the door in. "What are you doing? What do you think? Come on, it's not the first time. Let's talk after we're done." After she finished speaking, she hugged Song Yi and threw her directly onto the small bed. Song Yi struggled with all her might. She pushed and hit the university, but it was useless. "If you dare to do anything again, I'll call for help." Li Jian's left hand forcefully grabbed Song Yi's hands that were moving about. He pressed them above her head, and his legs pressed down on Song Yi's lower body. Then shout, "I'll say that you seduced me and asked me to kill Lin Lei." Li Jian fiercely threatened. When Song Yi heard this, she calmed down and didn't dare to shout anymore. If others knew about this, how would she behave? Could it be that if she made a wrong step, she wouldn't be able to control herself in the future? Her hands slowly gave up resisting. In the past, she only knew that Li Jian was stingy and liked to take advantage of others. She didn't expect that his true nature would be exposed, and he would be so shameless. Song Yi resented Lin Lei. If it was not for her, she would not have been treated like this. Li Jian saw that Song Yi had given up on resisting and knew that she was afraid of his words. Everything was going according to plan. He had more or less expected that this woman was a born slut. Song Yi closed her eyes and imagined that Song Yi was on her body. Slowly, she began to feel it. After an unknown amount of time, she felt that Li Jian was panting. Knowing that he was about to finish, she hurriedly pushed him up. Song Yi said anxiously, "Don't put it in there. I'm afraid of getting pregnant. You can possess me, but you won't destroy me. It's not that easy to get pregnant. My wife has only given birth to 2 little girls over the years." After saying that, she got up and put on her clothes. It was daytime now, so it was better to be careful. It would be bad if others saw her. He didn't want any bad reputation to be spread out. Seeing Li Jian put on his clothes, Song Yi also put on her clothes. She didn't have any confidence in herself. The last time she finished with him, she had completely forgotten that she would get pregnant in a few days. "I'm just afraid. What if I get pregnant? And what do you want to do about dealing with Lin Lei?" Song Yi thought to herself, "If you lie to me, I'll make you lose your job." No one was having an easy time. Li Jian finished putting on his clothes and sat directly next to Song. "I want to find someone in a few days to send a telegram from Song Yi's hometown saying that something happened at home. Song Yi just got promoted and couldn't leave. Lin Lei will definitely go back." Thinking of Lin Lei's figure, she would definitely feel better than Song. Li Jian's body reacted quickly again and directly touched Song Yi next to him. Song Yi hurriedly pushed him away and stretched out her hand. She said angrily, "That's IT. What's the use of going back to your hometown?" Li Jian ignored Song Yi's resistance and continued to touch Song Yi. He untied her clothes again. "That's your business. You just need to find an opportunity to go to Song Yi's place and let him sleep once. That's enough. Also, with my efforts, if you're pregnant, I'll be even more helpful to you." After saying that, she looked at the time. It was not even 10 o'clock yet, so she would do it again. Although Song Yi's figure was not very good, she had just broken her body, so it felt pretty good there. Song Yi listened to Li Jian's words and thought that this was also a way. When the time came, she should be able to do it by drugging him. When the time came, she only needed to threaten Song. Seeing that Li Jian had taken off his pants again, she did not plan to stop him this time. If she was pregnant, she might really be able to help. Seeing that Li Jian was taking too long to take off his pants, she directly stretched out her hand to help. Li Jian saw that Song Yi was starting to cooperate with him. This woman who was blinded by love was indeed the easiest to get her hands on. As for Lin Lei, she would take her time. There would always be a way. Lin Lei slept for 2 hours. When she got up, it was almost 10 o'clock. When she got up and came out of the room, she saw that Song Yi had cleaned up everything outside. She was extremely satisfied. This man was sometimes very domineering, and sometimes he was childish like a child. Li Jian's left hand forcefully held Song Yi's hands that were moving about. Then shout, "I'll say that you seduced me and asked me to kill Lin Lei." Li Jian fiercely threatened. When Song Yi heard this, she calmed down and didn't dare to shout anymore. If others knew this, how would she behave? Could it be that if she made a wrong step, she wouldn't be able to control herself in the future? Her hands slowly gave up resisting. In the past, she only knew that Li Jian was stingy and liked to take advantage of others. She didn't expect that his true nature would be exposed, and he would be so shameless. Song Yi resented Lin Lei. If it was not for her, she would not have been treated like this. Li Jian saw that Song Yi had given up on resisting and knew that she was afraid of his words. After an unknown amount of time, he felt that Li Jian was panting. Knowing that he was about to finish, he hurriedly pushed him up. Song Yi said anxiously, "I'm afraid of getting pregnant. You can possess me, but you won't destroy me. How can it be so easy to get pregnant? My wife has only given birth to 2 little girls all these years." After saying that, she stood up and put on her clothes. It was daytime now, so it was better to be careful. It would not be good if others saw it. He did not want any bad reputation to spread. Seeing Li Jian put on his clothes, Song Yi also put on her clothes. She was not confident. The last time she finished with him, she had forgotten that she would get pregnant in a few days. "I'm just afraid. What if I get pregnant? And what do you want to do about the matter with Lin Lei?" Song Yi thought to herself, "If you lie to me, I will make you lose your job." Everyone was not having an easy time. Li Jian finished putting on his clothes and sat directly next to Song. He said, "I want to find someone in a few days to send a telegram from Song Yi's hometown saying that something happened at home. Song Yi just got promoted and could not leave. Lin Lei will definitely go back." Song Yi hurriedly pushed him away and stretched out her hand. She said angrily, "That's IT. What's the use of going back to your hometown?" Li Jian ignored Song Yi's obstruction and continued to touch Song. He untied the clothes that she had just put on. "This is your business. You find an opportunity to go to Song Yi's place and let him sleep once. Isn't that enough? Also, with my efforts, if you're pregnant, I'll be even more helpful to you." Listening to Li Jian's words, Song Yi thought that this was also a solution. When the time came, she should be able to do it by drugging him. When the time came, she only needed to threaten Song Yi. Li Jian took off his clothes again. The two of them rolled together again. Lin Lei slept for 2 hours. When she got up, it was almost 10 o'clock. When she got up and came out of the room, she saw that Song Yi had cleaned everything up. She was extremely satisfied. This man was sometimes very domineering and sometimes childish like a child. Lin Lei changed Song Yi's clothes in the bathroom and washed them. When she was ready to return to the space, she would hang them in the space. Her clothes were always hung in the space. When she went in, her clothes were all arranged by Xiaomi in the warehouse. Song Yi had too few clothes. Other than his work clothes, he had never seen them before. Other than asking him for money, his family did not care about him much. If not for Song Yi's looks and occupation, he would have been married long ago. However, it was just convenient for him. Later, she would go to the space to see if there were any shirts and pants that suited him. Her man should dress up properly. He was so good to her. For her to sacrifice her life, other than cooking some food, she did not do anything for him. She felt that she had neglected her duty. It was almost 11 o'clock. She wanted to cook some good food. She felt that he should be back by noon. She also missed him a little. She thought of the washed clothes and entered the space. Li Jian saw that it was 11 o'clock and got up to put on his clothes. He told Song that if there was nothing else, she should not look for him. As for the matter of the telegram, he would do it in the next few days. Song Yi thought to herself that her dream would come true in a few days. She had been too reserved in the past. If she had used the drug earlier, she would not have let Li Jian sleep in vain. Instead, she would have ruined her innocence. Dr. Xiao did not hang many 4 bottles today, so he came back early. He was going to take his lunchbox to the cafeteria to get some food. When he came back, he saw the sign at the door. Something was not right when he opened the door in the morning. He had already checked inside. Could it be that a child was causing trouble again? When he opened the bathroom door, he saw that Song Yi's clothes were not neat. The air was filled with an indescribable smell, and the quilt on the small bed was messy. Could it be that this girl had secretly slept? No, there was a lot of toilet paper in the paper basket. Dr. Xiao was deep in thought. Could it be that something had happened in the room just now? Song Yi saw that Dr. Xiao had returned and hurriedly poured some water. She said, "I didn't sleep well last night. I just slept secretly." Dr. Xiao nodded. He went to the drawer to pick up the lunchbox and was about to go get the food. "It won't happen again. You've been working here for a year and you've never made any mistakes. This time, just pretend that I didn't know." When Song Yi heard this, she felt relieved. She quickly reached out to get the lunchbox. Dr. Xiao held the lunchbox in his hand and said, "I'm going to get the food. Today, I'll treat you to meat." When Dr. Xiao heard her say this, he gave the lunchbox in his hand to her. This girl was quite tactful. He casually touched her small hand. It was really slippery. Song Yi turned around and went to get the food. Seeing that she had left, Dr. Xiao picked up the paper basket and took a sniff. He thought to himself that it was as he had expected. The little thoughts in his stomach started to run through his mind. Lin Lei entered the space to first harvest the early maturing crops before planting the new ones. She looked at the newly planted seeds, germinating and green. It was really beautiful. "Xiaomi, go to the warehouse and tidy up all the clothes here. I'll pick out some clothes later." Lin Lei saw that Xiaomi was busy, so she went to put the ingredients there to have a look. She made braised pork ribs. 3 pork ribs. It was really not a small amount. Looking at how it weighed, more than 60 jin, thinking about Song Yi's astonishing appetite, Lin Lei took a third of the ribs and chopped them into small pieces. Later, she would make braised pork ribs. 20 jin might seem like a lot, but in fact, it was only half of the meat. The rest was just bones. "Master, it's done. I've sorted it out." Xiaomi ran over happily. Seeing that her master was chopping bones, She didn't know what delicious food to make. Later, Xiaomi, let's eat the ribs. Looking at Xiaomi's drooling appearance, it was really cute. Xiaomi said happily, and I want to eat rice. Lin Lei nodded and went to get rice to steam a pot of rice. The rice grains in the space were crystal clear, and it tasted good when cooked. Cooking in the space could retain most of the spiritual energy in the food. The spiritual energy intake increased her overall agility, strength, and hearing by a lot. Recently, Lin Lei had been able to sense a faint aura when she woke up in the morning. Although it was very small, Lin Lei was still very happy. This proved that she could practice the space cultivation technique in the future. She didn't want to think about it anymore, so she cooked the dishes first. She blanched the ribs, shred the green onion and ginger, put in the oil, stir-fried the sugar color, put in the green onion and ginger, and stir-fried the ribs at the bottom until the ribs were slightly yellow. Then, she added soy sauce and water and boiled them until the sauce was collected in the pot. After that, she took the most tender small rape, which was the vegetable heart in the rape. She stir-fried it with oil, added a little salt, and lightly stir-fried it a few times. After it became soft, it could be out of the pot. Xiaomi, it's time to eat the ribs. I saved some for you in the pot. Don't eat them all in one go. Lin Lei scooped some rice and more than 10 ribs for Xiaomi. Seeing that Xiaomi was eating so well, she was a little hungry. Xiaomi, I'm going out. Come back tomorrow. Lin Lei exited the space. Seeing that it was almost 12 o'clock, she didn't know if Song Yi would come back for dinner. She felt a little disappointed. After placing the dishes and rice on the table, she heard the sound of the door opening. Lin Lei instantly felt rejuvenated. Daughter-in-law, what delicious food are you cooking? Why does it smell so good? As soon as Song Yi entered the corridor, he smelled the fragrance of meat. The closer he was to home, the stronger the fragrance was. Braised pork ribs, I made a big pot and a big pot of rice. My husband has enough to eat. Lin Lei said proudly. Song Yi saw that the entire dining table was filled with 2 big pots. He quickly washed his hands and prepared to eat. Wife's key. I've got it. Come with me to look at the house later. You can decorate it however you want. This is the money that I've praised all these years. I'll give it all to you. Song Yi took out a passbook from his pocket and placed it on the table. Lin Lei picked it up and opened it. There was a balance of 1,000 yuan. You saved this. Does your mother know? Lin Lei asked in surprise. She didn't expect this man to have so much money. It was not easy to raise such a big family and still have savings. Song Yi nodded. The ribs were really fragrant. Now that it was mealtime, his stomach was extremely hungry. The food in the cafeteria was always so few that it could not raise his appetite. Therefore, he would rather rush back to eat. After my wife moved, I basically ate at home for lunch. The most important part of the house configuration is the phone. When Lin Lei heard about the phone, she was very happy that it would be convenient for anyone who wanted to look for her in the future. Tomorrow is Sunday. I had an appointment with Zheng Cheng before Sunday. He was the robber who wanted to rob us that day. Song Yi swallowed the meat in his mouth and said, I remember. Those stupid robbers. Don't worry. I'll go with you. I want to learn about the black market at the same time. Lin Lei thought of the underground exchange. She sold the money for more than 10,000 yuan in order to earn more money. But what was the most stable way to earn money? It was Lin Lei's firm belief that a person could not be without money if there was nothing. Lin Lei looked at Song Yi, who was eating the ribs quickly. She was in a good mood. With him, she had a sense of direction in everything she did. Daughter-in-law, we'll go and ask around tomorrow. If it's too dangerous, we'll come back first. When we come back, I'll bring a few helpers with me. Lin Lei nodded and said, Yes, I know unfamiliar places. I won't go in. The two of them ate quickly. The ribs were almost all eaten. Song Yi felt even more satisfied after eating. Lin Lei asked seriously, I'll keep the money after I take it away. What do you say when your mother asks you? My mother doesn't know that there's so much money. This is my bonus. Just don't let slip. You know a little about my family, Song Yi hurriedly replied. Lin Lei thought that it was a good thing that this person was not stupid and filial. He even knew that she had a trick up her sleeve. His family clearly treated him as a money-making machine. It was as if he was not their biological child and was being exploited to death. Song Yi tidied up the table and went into the kitchen to wash the dishes. When Lin Lei entered the house to change her clothes, she remembered that she had forgotten to pick out her clothes. She could only wait until the afternoon before returning. Song Yi brought his wife out of the large courtyard and walked towards the family building for about 10 minutes. Lin Lei saw another large courtyard. This courtyard was much bigger than before. The house in this courtyard was a single door with a single courtyard. The construction was much newer than the previous building. It seemed that it had only been built in the past few years. Wife, we're the one on the far right. In the past, when the company commander was transferred away, it became empty. Song Yi explained to his wife. When she opened the courtyard door, she saw that there were many vegetables planted in the courtyard. They should have been left behind by the previous owner. He was a good and particular person. When the door opened, Lin Lei looked around. This former owner was relatively clean. When he left, he cleaned the house. The house was quite big. There were 3 rooms. The living room was very big. The kitchen and bathroom were much bigger than her own home. Lin Lei felt very satisfied. Now, she was just short of buying furniture. The living room needed a large sofa. The owner did not take the bed from the room. Lin Lei looked a little old. After the previous lesson, the bed had to be changed. She also had to buy a large television. Even if she only watched the news, it was still pretty good. Wife, this house is all right? Unless I transfer. For the next few years, I'll have to live here. Lin Lei nodded and said, it's not bad. Let's make some arrangements. Song Yi looked at his watch and said to his wife, can you go back on your own later? It's about time for my meeting in the afternoon. Hubby, if you're busy, go ahead first. Give me the key. I'll go to the space in a while to see if there's anything that can be used. I'll clear out first. Song Yi handed the key to his wife and returned to the army. Time was a little tight, so he ran straight back. He arrived at the right place and looked at the time. It had only taken him 10 minutes. If it was before, it would have taken him about 15 minutes. His wife's space spiritual spring was really useful. His speed had increased a lot. After the meeting, he would go to the training ground to try it out. As soon as Song Yi left, Lin Lei entered the space. She found the warehouse form from Xiaomi and looked at it carefully. She had collected a lot of things in the past. She thought about the clothes and decided to look for them after she moved. Now that she took them out, there was no place to put them. She found them in the space. There were bed sheets, blankets, and some simple small furniture. It looked like she should buy a sofa, television, wardrobe, bed, and table tomorrow. Lin Lei noted down what she needed to buy, then locked the door and went back. After she went home, she looked around to take her things away. She didn't need to give them to the big sister next door. As for Wang Mei, she didn't think about it. After all, her man was so annoying. He had been tidying up the whole afternoon. He didn't expect that after tidying up, there would be a lot of things that he didn't want. Lin Lei didn't even want these simple furniture. Song Yi went to the wilderness in the afternoon and specifically checked his physical condition. He found that he was much stronger than before, especially his eyesight. He could clearly see things 500 meters away. This was really out of his expectations. Lin Lei saw that it was almost 5 p.m. and she entered the space to prepare dinner. The weather was so hot, so eating cold noodles was the best. Xiaomi will eat noodles tonight, fried sauce noodles. Xiaomi nodded happily and said, I want to eat meat. More meat sauce. Lin Lei nodded and took 4 gene of meat, cut into strips, and then beat it all into meat sauce. The meat in the space was too simple, and now that she had money, Lin Lei planned to buy some other meat tomorrow. She did not know if she could buy fresh shrimp and clams, so she was a little hungry. Lin Lei took 10 caddies of flour and noodles. Song Yi's appetite was getting bigger and bigger, and he was afraid that he wouldn't be full. The noodles were first cooked, and then it would taste good after water. Lin Lei first made the meat paste, and made the paste for Xiaomi without adding any spicy. Lin Lei especially added a lot of chilies to the portion that was with Song Yi, and Lin Lei found that Song Yi was especially good at eating spicy food. Looking at her watch, it was about 6 o'clock when Lin Lei started to cook the noodles. After cooking, she went through the water and found the largest basin to put them in. Xiaomi, I'm going out. Tomorrow morning, I'll come over. There's still some meat paste in the pot. When you want to eat, remember to cook some rice. Xiao Mi nodded and continued to eat the noodles in her bowl. The noodles were very strong with meat sauce, and the taste was very good. When Lin Lei left the space, Song Yi had not returned yet. He went into the kitchen to take out the bowls and chopsticks. When he set the table, he heard the sound of the door opening and knew that he was back. Wash your hands and eat the noodles. I can cook them better than water noodles in the hot weather, Lin Lei urged. After washing his hands, Song Yi saw that the bowl prepared by his wife was a little small. He went to the kitchen to find a small basin and started to mix it. The corner of Lin Lei's mouth twitched. That basin was usually used by other families to contain rice. Fortunately, he had prepared a lot of noodles. Song Yi ate 3 large basins in a row before he felt a little full. Wife, I specially went to the mountains for an experiment during my lunch break today. I can use my self-made bow and arrow to shoot the bullseye from 500 meters away. That's not bad. I haven't tried it yet. I just feel that it's not bad after hearing it. Also, my memory of reading books is much better than before, Lin Lei said with emotion. She didn't expect Song Yi to improve so much. The effect of the spiritual spring was really good. In addition, the food in the space also had a certain relationship. Wife, I want to double the amount of spiritual spring water later. He had to become stronger to protect his wife. The space thing was too heaven-defying. His wife had to develop her career. It was only a matter of time before the space was exposed. He had to have the ability to protect her if there were any problems. This afternoon, someone had sent the information about this year's layoffs. He wanted to take a look at it later and pick out some people. Well, tell me when you can't take it anymore, Lin Lei said worriedly. Song Yi nodded and continued to eat another bowl of noodles before he was completely full. With his appetite, when he was hungry, he wanted to fill his stomach quickly. Lin Lei ate very little, only 1 bowl of noodles for Song Yi. The leftover noodles on the table were directly stored in a space. Xiaomi would eat them as soon as she saw them. Wife, let me look at the information. The information on the layoffs this time has been submitted. Lin Lei nodded, cleaned the table, washed the dishes, and followed Song Yi to read a book. Song Yi picked up the file and looked at it seriously. He wanted to get a few useful helpers for his wife as soon as possible. The benefits in the factory were not good, so they could only reduce the number of people laid off. The number of laid-off people reached 100, and all of them were reduced from unimportant positions. Life was not easy for everyone. They had to bring their families along with them. If they were laid off from the factory, they would have to wait for the pillar of their family to not be able to earn money. Song Yi was forced by life. He believed that as long as he threw out the olive branch, they would be willing to stay. Song Yi chose people based on their age first, then their overall quality. Next, it will be based on their family conditions. The heavier the family burden, the higher the possibility of staying. Such people were more able to endure hardships and would give up everything for their wives and children. Relatively speaking, they were easier to control. Song Yi chose more than 30 people and planned to secretly find a time to have a group discussion. He would put the matter out in the open and let them make their own choices. Should they stay and work with him or go out and continue looking for a job? In the past, he would let Song Yi do things that were out of line. He definitely would not, but now it was not certain. As long as he wanted to hurt his wife, Song Yi would do everything he could to eradicate him. Wife, I'm done. I'll bring it to you after I'm done talking to them, Song Yi said happily. Song Yi was very happy that he could do something for his wife again. This could be considered as sharing her worries. Lin Lei nodded. Yes, I know. I believe in my husband's judgment. After saying that, he poured the spiritual spring water into a bowl on the table. Song Yi finished a bowl and then continued to pour another bowl. After watching him drink it, he waited quietly. Song Yi's physique was probably much better than her body. He could be cleansed so many times. Song Yi's body was still normal for the first hour. After a while, he began to feel pain. After that, he became numb. He tried his best to endure it, afraid that his wife would be worried. Fortunately, after half an hour, his body did not feel much. He got up and went to take a shower. Wife, you're going to be sleepy. Go straight to sleep. I might not be able to take a shower for a long time. Don't worry, the pain has passed, Song Yi said in a comforting tone. Okay, if you have anything, call me. Lin Lei saw that Song Yi went in to take a shower, and she went back to her room. She was still in a daze and did not sleep well until she felt Song Yi pull her into his arms. Only then did she fall asleep. Song Yi hugged his wife with a satisfied look on his face and quickly fell asleep. The next day, Lin Lei woke up very early. She entered the space and stored the mature crops in the warehouse. Then, she planted them and began to cook. She stewed a big pot of rice, fried the garlic sprouts, fried the meat, eggs, tomatoes, and braised pork. Then, she made the winter melon sparrow soup. Last night, Song Yi came back to the house very late. He would definitely be able to eat a lot in the morning. Xiaomi, I'm going out. The food is on the table. You can eat slowly. Looking at its master who was leaving quickly, Xiaomi felt that it was a little redundant. Woo-woo. But fortunately, its master remembered to cook for it. It loved to eat braised pork. Braised pork. It was really delicious. Lin Lei went into the room to wake Song Yi up. Looking at Song Yi lying on the bed, he seemed to look even better. Hubby, it's time to eat. If you don't get up, the sun is shining on your buttocks. Song Yi suddenly got up and pressed Lin Lei onto the bed. Wife, I finally press you down this time. Lin Lei came to her senses and pushed Song Yi up with her right hand. Eat? What are you making a fuss about? You pretended to be asleep just now. I'll punish you with eating. Clean up the house, Lin Lei said angrily. Song Yi knew he was in the wrong. He ran out to wash his hands and was ready to eat. Looking at the table full of delicious dishes, Song Yi opened the chopsticks in his hands and quickly picked up the food. Lin Lei added another bowl of rice for him and said, Eat slowly. I've made enough for you to eat more meat. Song Yi also wanted to eat slowly, but he couldn't control his mouth. His stomach was like a bottomless pit that needed a lot of things to fill up, until he felt that he couldn't fit it in anymore. Song Yi looked at the dishes on the table that were mostly eaten by him. He felt like he was really going to become a pig. Song Yi asked nervously, Wife, will I always be able to eat like this? No. After purification, I probably won't be able to eat like this. Besides, even if I can eat, I can still support you. Lin Lei said proudly. Song Yi smiled dotingly and said, Yes, wife will support me for the rest of my life. Lin Lei's face turned red and her body felt hot. This evildoer smile was too charming. I'll go back to my room to change my clothes. You clean up the things on the table. Lin Lei said shyly. Lin Lei quickly went back to her room, silently saying that she needed to calm down, calm down, calm down. Song Yi had no choice but to tease her and bring his wife back to his room. He could only accept his fate and clean up the table. Lin Lei went back to her room and directly went back to her space to pick out a light pink dress. She picked out a set of casual clothes for Song Yi. The top was a shirt, and the bottom was black pants. He always looked like he was wearing work clothes. It was too ugly. Come in and change your clothes. I've found 2 sets of clothes for you, Lin Lei shouted. Song Yi put down the bowl in his hand and returned to his room. When he entered the room, he saw the clothes on the bed. He started to take off his clothes. When he finished taking off his clothes and unbuckled his belt, he heard the sound of his wife running away in a panic. He thought his wife would see him until he finished changing. Song Yi, you hooligan. Lin Lei went out to catch her breath and whispered. After Song Yi finished changing, he brought Lin Lei out and went to the canteen to borrow a car. Old Zhao was very happy to see Lin Lei. It was as if he was picking up money. Sister-in-law, if you still have that kimchi, give me some more. Without it, I can't eat anymore, Old Zhao said pitifully. That food was really delicious. It was too hot to eat, so they had to rely on it. Lin Lei teased. Got it. I'll get Song Yi to bring it to you. Old Zhao told Lin Lei in a low voice. Yeah, you guys can use the car. The oil is full. Just park it when you get back. It's fine no matter how late it is. Lin Lei nodded and got into the car with Song Yi. The car slowly drove on the road. Lin Lei felt very sleepy. Her upper eyelids and lower eyelids kept fighting. If my wife is sleepy, she can sleep for a while. This car is a bit bumpy. I'll feel better when I get out of the car. Song Yi said. Lin Lei asked excitedly. You're going to have a car soon? Yes, soon. I'll arrange a meeting for my wife to drive. She could go anywhere she wants. Song, he said dotingly. Lin Lei immediately became excited. She couldn't fall asleep. She could go anywhere she wanted with a car. It had been a long time since she had driven a car. Before the apocalypse, she had finally saved money to buy a house and a car. But now there was nothing left. In this life, he would never let the apocalypse happen. A few years after the apocalypse, he heard a rumor that zombies were the product of human failure. Although it was not confirmed, there was no wind in the air. There must be some connection. Hubby, will you support me no matter what I do in the future? Lin Lei asked seriously. Songy looked at his wife and said seriously, Yes, I will support you no matter what you do. I love you. Was this a confession? Then which one was he in love with? Lin Lei asked in fear. What do you love me for? When did you fall in love with me? Songy hesitated for a few minutes and replied, After you woke up and got along with you, I became more and more attracted to you. Lin Lei's heart was finally in her stomach. She did not want to be anyone's substitute. She was very afraid that Song Yi would say that he fell in love with her the first time he met her predecessor. Although she knew in her heart that it was impossible, she would also be inexplicably afraid. Looking at the man who was driving seriously beside her, she thought that it would be him for the rest of her life. Lin Lei said in a serious tone, I hope that I can continue walking with you for the rest of my life. If you don't leave me, I won't abandon you. Song Yi used his right hand that was not holding the steering wheel to caress his wife's hair and said lovingly, Wife, Song Yi, have decided that I will never let go of your hand for the rest of my life. Many years later, the child asked himself when he fell in love with their father. The first scene that Lin Lei recalled in the car was not love at first sight, but love after a long time. They arrived at the city. After parking the car, Lin Lei suggested that they go to the place that they had agreed to meet with Zheng Cheng. This time, the two of them decided not to dress up. They went with this outfit as a test to Zheng Cheng. They arrived at the place. It was desolate, and there were only piles of rocks everywhere. There were no trees on both sides of the road. They did not see anyone on the road. Could it be that they had been deceived? Suddenly, a person came out from the pile of rocks on the side of the road. He was dressed in rags. He wore a straw hat and took it off. Lin Lei asked in surprise, Zheng Cheng, why are you dressed like this? Zheng Cheng rubbed his eyes and thought to himself, oh my God, the last time he beat us up, it was a woman. That vicious strength had broken some of his brother's bones and reconnected them. Big sister, it's me. The last time, you told me to do something. I'm done. Zheng Cheng replied in fear and trepidation. It was too scary. This woman was so scary. What would a man look like? Fortunately, they were almost done with their tasks. Lin Lei nodded in satisfaction. Then take us there. Do you have enough money? Zheng Cheng turned around and led the way. As he walked, he said to Lin Lei, I don't have enough money. The two shops are connected, but the location is good. It's next to the market. That person is going to move away. It's only for sale, not rent. Okay, I got it. Take me there first. Let's take a look. Lin Lei wanted to take a look at the place first. If it was a good location, it would be good to buy it. She asked Song Yi in a low voice. He also wanted to take a look and talk. Under Zheng Cheng's lead, they arrived after walking for more than half an hour. It was indeed at the edge of the market, and the location was not bad. The layout of the two houses was not bad. They could sell things at the front, and a few people could stay at the back. Lin Lei asked, How much does he want? Zheng Cheng said, He wants 1,500 for a total. I feel that we can negotiate the price. Lin Lei looked around. 1,500 was a little expensive, but it was not impossible. This location was good, and there was no loss in doing anything. Hubby, what do you think? What do you think? Lin Lei wanted to hear Song Yi's opinion. She had only been here for less than half a month. Song Yi instructed Zheng Cheng, go and call him over. We can talk. Zheng Cheng went to look for him obediently and quickly called him over. This man's aura was too strong. Why did he treat him as a prodigal at that time? Soon, someone came. It was a man in his 40s wearing a pair of glasses. Song Yi looked at the man and asked, Can't this house be cheap? The man came in and saw a man and a woman. They looked like a husband and wife. They were both good-looking and dressed well. They also looked like rich people. The man took off his eyes and wiped away his tears. My parents are seriously ill. There's really no other way. Stop haggling. Song Yi did not waste any time with him. He went over and put his hand on his shoulder. Let's go out and talk. Lin Lei saw him leave, but did not follow him. It was a man's matter. The man would settle it. In any case, the final decision would be hers. About 20 minutes later, the two of them returned. The man's face was not very good. He was a little pale, and his steps were a little unsteady. The man said in a trembling voice, 2 shops will only cost 1,000 yuan. We can write the contract right away. Lin Lei was shocked. What had happened in just 20 minutes? She looked at Song Yi and saw him nod at her. Lin Lei knew that she could just sign the contract without worry. Lin Lei reached in her bag to take the money. In reality, she took the money out of her space and handed it to Song Yi. Song Yi took the money and went out to sign the contract with the man with glasses. Lin Lei chatted with Zheng Cheng for a while. Generally, in this town, what was more profitable and what was more popular? Zheng Cheng was a very talkative person. He basically knew everything. Because his family was too poor, he became the leader of the northern forces. Usually, he would help people collect their debts and do some odd jobs. He did not do anything particularly illegal. He had more than 30 people under him. When there was work, they would gather together. When there was no work, they would do their own things. Zheng Cheng also had a new understanding of Lin Lei. This girl was good-looking, and her words were incisive. In such a short period of time, all the big things that he had done in his life had been asked by her. Zheng Cheng, follow me. I haven't thought about the specifics yet, but I won't let you down. My name is Lin Lei, and the man I was with just now is Song Yi, my husband. Zheng Cheng thought for a while and seemed to have made up his mind. Okay, don't worry. No matter what it is, I will help you do it well. Zheng Cheng's family conditions were not good. He was in his 30s and did not have a wife. It was because his parents' health was not good, and he had many younger siblings. He was the boss, so he was delayed. Not only were the couple generous, but they also had an aura that made people follow them. Perhaps this was a chance. This county was not big, and the opportunity was fleeting. He had to seize it. Lin Lei was a little satisfied. It was not convenient for her to come back and forth, so she needed a helper. Zheng Cheng could test her. He had many people and manpower. The two of them chatted for an hour, and Song Yi came back alone. It's done. This shop is ours now, Song Yi said happily. He showed the contract to Lin Lei. The contract from the 1980s was not as complicated as that of later generations. It basically proved who owned the house. This guy, the owner of the house, wrote her name, and her heart warmed. Lin Lei looked at her watch. It was almost 11 o'clock. She went out for dinner to celebrate, and then went shopping in the afternoon. With Zheng Cheng shopping, it would be faster. Lin Lei said generously, Zheng Cheng, look for the best restaurant in the city. Let's celebrate. My treat. Zheng Cheng was very happy to hear this, and immediately said, the best restaurant in the city is Yueli Restaurant. You guys follow me. Zheng Cheng and Lin Lei arrived in less than 10 minutes. The restaurant was not too big. It was already the end of the meal, so there were only a few tables of guests. The waiter recognized Zheng Cheng and directly brought them to the small room next door. What would the guests like to eat? This is the menu. The waiter said respectfully. Zheng Cheng put the menu in front of Lin Lei. He did not know what they liked, but he did not know how much they were planning to spend. Lin Lei took the menu and carefully read a few pages. There was nothing special about this restaurant. It was just an ordinary stir-fried dish. The meat dishes were bones, pig's head meat, fish, and so on. Lin Lei set 5 catty for the big bones, 5 catty for the head meat, and slice it thinly. I'll have a braised fish, stewed pork ribs with kidney beans, and 5 catties of rice. I'll have these first. The waiter wrote it down and quickly went to prepare. He thought to himself that this table was a big customer and rarely ate like this. After preparing the bones and meat for this table, there wouldn't be any meat dishes left in the restaurant. Zheng Cheng was secretly shocked at how generous this girl was. The dishes on this table cost around 30 yuan. The dishes were served one after another. Lin Lei ate them one by one. The marinated bones and pork heads were not made very well. The taste was too salty even without the skin. The fish was a little fishy, and the kidney bean ribs were not bad. Songy also ate them. What kind of restaurant was this? It was far worse than his wife's cooking. The dishes were not delicious, so he ate more. His mouth had been spoiled by his wife. It was not delicious, so he did not want to eat more. Zheng Cheng ate very well. This restaurant had a large amount of dishes, and they were all big plates with plenty of oil. If he ate alone, he definitely would not come to this restaurant. This restaurant was very expensive. After the three of them finished eating, there was still a lot of food left on the table. Zheng Cheng felt it was a pity, but he was also embarrassed, so he suggested to take it away. Lin Lei saw this. He was not greedy, and he did things in a reasonable way. Zheng Cheng, if you have nothing to do in the afternoon, go shopping with us. I want to move to a new house and buy a TV, sofa, and wardrobe. After a pause, he added, you can take this food away. It's not convenient for us to take it. Zheng Cheng said gratefully, okay, I'll go shopping with you in the afternoon. Song Yi watched from the side. His wife was really a good person. She even cared about the other party's face when giving things away. Zheng Cheng went out to look for the waiter. During the meal, he saw that the two of them did not eat much. They just ate a lot. If he brought this table back, he could open a meat dish for his family. Lin Lei was also very considerate of her face. Perhaps following them was the best decision she had made in her life. The waiter came to bring the bill. Lin Lei looked at it. It was 32 yuan. It was really expensive and not delicious. She looked around carefully at the decorations. It was about the same size as the store she bought. Maybe she could consider opening a restaurant. The food in the space was better than the food here. Wife, I'll drive over. You guys wait for a few minutes, Song Yi whispered. Okay, be careful, Lin Lei instructed. After waiting for less than 10 minutes, the three of them got into the car. With Zheng Cheng leading the way, they arrived at the place very quickly. After parking the car, they saw that it was a small market. The lower floor sold vegetables and meat, while the second floor sold furniture and appliances. The place was not too big. There were only 3 shops selling goods on the second floor. Lin Lei saw that the first shop's attendant was indifferent, so she directly walked to the back. The second shop style was not very good. When they just arrived at the third shop, the salesgirl came over with a smile on her face. Sister, what are you here for? Are you here for your wedding? I have everything here. I can give you a discount. The most important thing is that it can be broken. Where's the repair package? The salesgirl introduced enthusiastically. Lin Lei looked around. The TV was actually colorful. Although it wasn't very big, it was still pretty good to have a colorful TV in this remote place. It was year 82 now. Some families only had light bulbs and flashlights. Sister, how much is this TV? There's also a cabinet, a table, and a sofa over there. Lin Lei pointed out what she wanted one by one. Big Sis was very happy to hear that. Judging by the way they dressed, the couple did not lack money. They wanted the most expensive items in the shop. If she sold them, her salary would be tripled. The TV is at most 700 yuan, the cabinet is 80 yuan, and the table is 50 yuan. Don't you want the matching chairs? 15 yuan each, Big SDS introduced enthusiastically. After looking at the price, the woman did not even look at the two men. She knew that it was the beautiful girl who made the decision to buy the items. Lin Lei looked at the furniture carefully. The pure wood was very sturdy and looked like it was carved with flowers. She could only say that it was not ugly. Why didn't she see the bed? She recalled the awkwardness from last time. Her little face turned red. It was too embarrassing. The big sister saw that Lin Lei did not reply and thought that it was too expensive. I can give you a discount if you buy more. It's close. I can arrange for someone to deliver the goods to you. The big sister looked at Lin Lei nervously and said, How much discount? I also want a few chairs and a bed. All right, if it's custom made, how long will it take to make a design? Lin Lei's eyes twinkled as she asked. She had the space to make it better. If she left this place in the future, she could also take it with her. It was not that Lin Lei was greedy. This pure solid wood furniture would have cost tens of thousands of yuan a set back then. Smelling this furniture, it even emitted a light fragrance. This is red sandalwood. Where's the owner? The bed? How big do you want it to be? The big sister asked. It seemed that this girl wanted high-quality goods. She had to make this deal happen. Lin Lei thought about the size of the room and felt that it could fit 3 meters. Lin Lei replied, 2.2 to 2 meters. As for this cabinet, if it can be customized, I have a few looks here. Is your furniture maker here? Yes, he's right behind me. Call him. Wait for a moment. The big sister quickly replied and turned around to run away. Lin Lei, this big sister was really fast. Her chubby body disappeared like flying. Lin Lei pulled Song Yi's arm and asked, Hubby, how do you feel? How do you feel? Song Yi said dotingly, It's okay, as long as the wife makes the decisions. Zheng Cheng looked at the two of them and felt that they were really in love. The furniture and television were too expensive. According to the girl's opinion, it was about 2,000 yuan. This was equivalent to 2 people with a salary of 3 years without eating or drinking. They were squandering. This man must have loved this lady very much. Such a squandering and pampering man was really too rare. The elder sister came back very quickly, followed by a man in his 40s. The man sized them up and asked, Who wants to customize it? Do you have a design? Elder sister, paper and pen. I could draw the appearance. Lin Lei looked up at the elder sister and said. When the elder sister heard this, she quickly went to the counter to get paper and pen and handed it to Lin Lei. Lin Lei took the pen and paper and quickly began to draw. The woman's serious look was very beautiful, and no one dared to disturb her. Everyone waited quietly, and the only sound in the air was the sound of pen swishing down. After about 20 minutes, Lin Lei stopped the pen, picked it up, and looked at it, then turned around and handed it to the furniture master. The furniture master picked it up and looked at it, and his eyes were excited. The hand holding the paper was trembling, and he finished reading page by page. Miss, did you design this? The master asked in a trembling voice. Lin Lei thought that this wasn't considered plagiarism. This was how she would look like when she bought the furniture in the future. Lin Lei nodded seriously. Yes, I got married and casually designed it. The design is really good. I'll take your money for this. It can be considered as the money for this design, the master said generously. After doing this, she could follow this line of thought and design a large set of furniture. It was a good deal. In the past, when she made the furniture, it could be said that the carpenters in the entire city basically passed down the appearance of the furniture from their past lives. They didn't have any intentions. Every family was the same, which meant that there might be some differences in the design. Then can I still get a discount when I buy a television? Lin Lei asked in surprise. She did not expect that it would be so simple that she could even get a discount when she drew a picture. Wasn't it just a very simple design? She had requested the cabinet to be a sliding door. There were several grids inside. The bed required that it could be assembled and disassembled. The box below had to be empty so that it could be used to store clothes. The master said generously, I'll give you a 20% discount. Let me see if I can get you some small furniture. A 20% discount was 560 yuan. It was too suitable. Lin Lei felt that she had earned it. Big Sis kept glancing at him. This guy, why did he sell the TV at a price that went in? Her heart was bleeding. Her head was so dizzy. My commission. The master glared at her. This wife was too stingy. She didn't have any money to earn when the furniture was put on display. She was saying that this little girl seemed to be able to design beautiful furniture. Didn't she say that she designed it casually? She could be good friends with her and give her some advice. She could earn as much money as she wanted, right? Lin Lei looked at the auntie who was about to faint and wanted to help her. She's fine. It's just that her blood pressure is a little high. I'll make the decision on this matter. You could just pay for the TV. The materials and money will be waiting for half a month. Just come and get the goods. You're playing tricks. Be careful. I'll teach you a lesson when I get back. The uncle threatened the aunt in a low voice. The aunt immediately stood up straight. Forget about being the boss. She didn't care about what she was doing. Lin Lei looked at the aunt, and the corner of her mouth twitched. The uncle's threat was really effective. Lin Lei paid the money, and Zheng Cheng immediately went to move the TV. This girl was really capable, such an expensive item, yet she was able to negotiate the price. Zheng Cheng admired her in his heart. Song Yi looked at his wife's wonderful performance and was overjoyed. In addition, the master said that he would be able to take the bed in half a month. He would be able to get a wife soon. Lin Lei saw that Song Yi did not move and reached out to pat him. Hurry up and go down to buy meat, fish, and shrimp. Let me see what's down there. Song Yi came back to his senses and quickly followed his wife's footsteps. Song Yi did not realize that he was getting more and more away from his wife. After they left, the aunt went up to pat the uncle and said, "You prodigal, don't you see that people are good-looking? That's why it's so cheap. Think about how much less money he would earn." He could not think about it anymore. He was really dizzy thinking about it. The uncle berated, "What do you know? We didn't lose money on the TV. The furniture people paid for the wood. But have you thought about how much I can earn by making a few more sets?" Hearing the uncle's reprimand, only then did I come back to my senses. That's true, I didn't lose money, I'll just earn money in the future. If Lin Lei knew what the uncle was thinking, she would definitely praise him. The older the ginger, the spicier it is. Lin Lei went downstairs and led Song Yi to buy everything quickly. Lin Lei paid, and Song Yi took it. If he couldn't take it, he sent it back to the car. He bought almost everything that was not available in the space, such as fish, shrimp, and beef. The whole market was filled with people watching them buy. Everyone thought, where did this brat come from? He's such a spendthrift. He's too rich envy, jealousy hate. Zheng Cheng looked at the trunk of the car that was slowly filling up. He was especially envious. It must be a few hundred yuan again. After buying, Lin Lei let out a big sigh. I'm so tired. It's been a long time since I felt like spending money like this. Song Yi took out a handkerchief to wipe his wife's sweat and said, "Next time, I'll do the shopping. I'll make you tired. It's okay. I like the feeling of spending money." "This person earns money for spending," Lin Lei said excitedly. After Lin Lei got in the car, she told Zheng Cheng, "I'll come back tomorrow. Wait for me in the shop. I'll buy some things. Help me sell them." Zheng Cheng nodded and said, "Got it. Be careful on the road." After watching their car drive away, he slowly walked back. The way Lin Lei spent money today had deeply shocked Zheng Cheng. He would be like this in the future. He would spend money however he wanted. Song Yi drove back with his wife. The sun slowly set, and the sunlight scattered on his wife's body. It was so beautiful. If it was not an inappropriate occasion, he would definitely do something. After Lin Lei's excitement, she felt drowsy not long after driving out. She only woke up slowly when she felt someone pushing her. They got out of the car and put everything they bought back into their space. The two of them parked the car and went home easily. After entering the house, they took off their clothes and lay down on the bed, not wanting to move. Song Yi looked at his daughter-in-law, who was wearing so little, and really missed her. If he couldn't eat meat, he could at least drink soup. Song Yi took off his clothes, pressed his wife down, and kissed her tightly. Lin Lei was tightly pressed down by Song Yi. She wanted to push him away with all her strength, but she was very reluctant to do so until she felt that his hands were slowly moving down. "Hubby, are you going to break the rules?" Lin Lei said angrily. This person was getting more and more unreasonable. If she didn't say anything, would he start eating? Song Yi said pitifully, "Daughter-in-law, don't worry, I will keep my promise." Song Yi kept kissing her from top to bottom until Lin Lei was drenched in sweat. Song Yi turned over and lay down. He took Lin Lei's small hand and said in a wrong voice, "Wife, help me. I really can't help it." Lin Lei wanted to withdraw, but she looked at his dark eyes. She couldn't bear to do it again. "Forget it. I'll help him. I just asked him to," Lin Lei said with a flushed face. "It won't happen again." Song Yi silently wiped his face, thinking that this feeling was not bad. He would find an opportunity to try it again. "I'm going into the space to make prawns. I haven't eaten prawns for a long time. Today we must have a good meal. Let's treat it as a celebration for the successful purchase of furniture today. What do you think?" He could not stand the stare and directly entered the space. He did not have time to say the rest of his words. Seeing that his wife was gone, Song Yi instantly suffered 10,000 damage. Tomorrow, he would go look for the energy stone. He had to find it quickly. At that time, he could enter the space together with her. Without a wife, he could only lie down and rest. Lin Lei entered the space and went to take a fierce shower first. After changing her clothes, she came out and looked at the ingredients she had bought today. She was filled with satisfaction. How could she not panic if she had food? Xiaomi, I'm going to make a big meal. Lin Lei said proudly. Xiaomi said happily, eat fish and meat. Lin Lei took the ingredients and made spicy prawns, dry roasted fish, braised beef, seaweed egg soup, 3 dishes, and a soup. She also made 5 jin of rice. The amount was big enough for more than 10 people to eat. After giving Xiaomi the food, she tidied up the space and left the room. Seeing that Song Yi was lying down, he went out to set the table. Hubby, wash your hands and eat. My wife is here. I'll be right there. Song Yi put on his clothes and left the room. A fragrant smell assaulted him. 3 dishes and 1 soup. This was called a dish because it was too appetizing. That lousy restaurant, what lousy dishes, charge more than 30 yuan. Song Yi suggested, Wife, you could open a restaurant. Lin Lei's eyes lit up. Her husband and she had the same idea. She also had the same idea, but she didn't cook. Then are you willing to let me not go home? Lin Lei said in a jealous tone. Song Yi was shocked. He was really stupid. His wife opened a restaurant, and she still had time to care about him at home. Wife, I'm sorry, but if you take a disciple, let him cook. The family still needs you, and I also need you. You can't leave me alone at home, alone in an empty room. I don't want to enjoy it anymore. He must not let his wife leave him, or what would happen to his stomach? Song Yi drove back with his wife. The sun slowly set, and the sunlight scattered on his wife's body. It was so beautiful. If it was not an inappropriate occasion, he would definitely do something. After Lin Lei's excitement, she felt drowsy not long after driving out. She only woke up slowly when she felt someone pushing her. They got out of the car and put everything they bought back into their space. The two of them parked the car and went home easily. After entering the house, they took off their clothes and lay down on the bed, not wanting to move. Song Yi looked at his daughter-in-law, who was wearing so little, and really missed her. If he couldn't eat meat, he could at least drink soup. Song Yi took off his clothes, pressed his wife down, and kissed her tightly. Lin Lei was tightly pressed down by Song Yi. She wanted to push him away with all her strength, but she was very reluctant to do so until she felt that his hands were slowly moving down. Hubby, are you going to break the rules? Lin Lei said angrily. This person was getting more and more unreasonable. If she didn't say anything, would he start eating? Song Yi said pitifully, Daughter-in-law, don't worry, I will keep my promise. Song Yi kept kissing her from top to bottom until Lin Lei was drenched in sweat. Song Yi turned over and lay down. He took Lin Lei's small hand and said in a wrong voice, Wife, help me. I really can't help it. Lin Lei wanted to withdraw, but she looked at his dark eyes. She couldn't bear to do it again. Forget it. I'll help him. I just asked him to. Lin Lei said with a flushed face, It won't happen again. Song Yi silently wiped his face, thinking that this feeling was not bad. He would find an opportunity to try it again. I'm going into the space to make prawns. I haven't eaten prawns for a long time. Today we must have a good meal. Let's treat it as a celebration for the successful purchase of furniture today. What do you think? He could not stand the stare and directly entered the space. He did not have time to say the rest of his words. Seeing that his wife was gone, Song Yi instantly suffered 10,000 damage. Tomorrow, he would go look for the energy stone. He had to find it quickly. At that time, he could enter the space together with her. Without a wife, he could only lie down and rest. Lin Lei entered the space and went to take a fierce shower first. After changing her clothes, she came out and looked at the ingredients she had bought today. She was filled with satisfaction. How could she not panic if she had food? Xiaomi, I'm going to make a big meal. Lin Lei said proudly. Xiaomi said happily, eat fish and meat. Lin Lei took the ingredients and made spicy prawns, dry roasted fish, braised beef, seaweed egg soup, 3 dishes, and a soup. She also made 5 jin of rice. The amount was big enough for more than 10 people to eat. After giving Xiaomi the food, she tidied up the space and left the room. Seeing that Song Yi was lying down, he went out to set the table. Hubby, wash your hands and eat. My wife is here. I'll be right there. Song Yi put on his clothes and left the room. A fragrant smell assaulted him. 3 dishes and 1 soup. This was called a dish because it was too appetizing. That lousy restaurant, What lousy dishes charge more than 30 yuan? Song Yi suggested. Wife, you could open a restaurant. Lin Lei's eyes lit up. Her husband and she had the same idea. She also had the same idea, but she didn't cook. Then are you willing to let me not go home? Lin Lei said in a jealous tone. Song Yi was shocked. He was really stupid. His wife opened a restaurant, and she still had time to care about him at home. Wife, I'm sorry, but if you take a disciple, let him cook. The family still needs you, and I also need you. You can't leave me alone at home, alone in an empty room. I don't want to enjoy it anymore. He must not let his wife leave him, or what would happen to his stomach? Perhaps his parents did not like him. It was his decision to go out to work and support the family. With the 20 yuan that he had saved, he went out to work at the age of 15. Every time he received a call from his parents, he was always very happy. He felt that his mother was thinking of him, but every time he did not say much, he would mention that the family was short of money. He worked hard to advance so quickly in order to earn more money so that he could send it back to them, until he found out that his eldest brother had not paid the family a single cent before or after he got married. He had accidentally heard it from his younger sister. Song Yi was shocked. They were still asking him for money like before. He had held back. Because they were unfair, he had hesitated, and because he was old, his feelings toward his family had faded. It was only until his wife appeared that he knew the feeling of being valued. It was good that his wife had you, no matter what he wanted to do in the future. I will stand by your side, because you are my sunshine. Song Yi's soliloquy in his heart, Lin Lei did not know. When she looked at the list that he had listed before, she realized that there were several things that she had forgotten to buy. The bed sheets, curtains, and some other small items had all been forgotten today. Lin Lei said listlessly, Hubby, are you done washing? Come over for a moment. Song Yi put down the rice bowl and replied, I'm done washing. I'll be out in a moment. What's wrong, wife? You were fine just now. Song Yi asked worriedly. Lin Lei said embarrassedly, Can you still accompany me out tomorrow? Wife, what didn't you buy? Song Yi looked at Lin Lei and knew that she might have forgotten to buy something he did not tell her yesterday, that he had time to accompany her for the next few days. He wanted to give his wife a surprise and ask around for energy stones. Lin Lei said coquettishly, There are some things that I didn't buy. I still have to enter the city tomorrow. I bought too many things today, so I made a mistake. In the past, he did not have anyone to accompany him, so that was the end of it. Now that he had Song Yi, he wanted him to accompany him whenever he had something to do. My wife, just promise me one condition. Song Yi said proudly. Song Yi thought that it was necessary for him to take the opportunity to ask for some benefits. Lin Lei glared at him. What do you want to do now? Didn't you? She blushed. What was wrong with her? She had fallen into his trap. What did this pervert want to do now? Previously, it could be said that he had gotten everything except the last step. She had to take back the initiative, or else she would be bullied in the future. Her small face showed anger. Daughter-in-law, what are you thinking about? That look. Song Yi was a little scared. He hadn't mentioned it, yet his wife looked very angry. Lin Lei said angrily, It's okay. What do you want, hubby? What do you want? Tell me. Tomorrow, come back and make dumplings. I want to eat celery stuffing. Song Yi said nonsensically. In fact, he wanted his wife to help him one more time, but looking at his wife's appearance, he had to act on the spot according to the situation. Just like today, he was in the right mood. Lin Lei said loudly, Okay, I'll make dumplings for you tomorrow morning. We have steamed dumplings and boiled dumplings. Fortunately, he only asked for dumplings, which was enough to satisfy him. Although he was too gluttonous, he wouldn't be full without more than 100 dumplings. However, he was very happy that his man liked to eat his own food. Wife, pull me some spring water. Finish it early and have a good sleep, Song Yi said in a low voice, disappointed. He still took a bath and went to sleep calmly, even without the soup. Lin Lei poured the spring water into a big bowl on the table and watched Song Yi drink it. Song Yi's expression was much better than the past few days. He should have finished his rehearsal, which made her feel much more at ease. In about half an hour, Song Yi went to take a shower. Lin Lei had already taken a shower before, so she went back to her room to sleep. She had promised him to make dumplings, so she had to wake up early. When Song Yi returned to his room, he saw that his wife was sleeping like a cute little pig. He reached out to hug his wife and fell into a deep sleep. Every time he finished his rehearsal, his body was so tired, and he just wanted to sleep well. The next day, Lin Lei woke up at 5 o'clock. Looking at the sleeping Song Yi, she was so handsome. She secretly kissed him and entered the space. She returned to the space with a red face and a beating heart. What had happened to her? She had become a pervert. She washed her face fiercely and began to prepare dumplings and noodles. She took the fresh celery that had just been picked from the ground and made the stuffing. She chose beef for the meat and cooked the dumplings to make the chives, shrimps, and eggs. Xiaomi looked at her master's rosy face and shy look. Xiaomi, eat the dumplings later. Xiaomi replied in a low voice, Got it, master. I'll eat the meat filling. In the past, when its master came in, he would always ask what it wanted to eat now. It was directly cooked. Although it was the meat that it liked to eat, it was a little disappointed in its heart. Lin Lei saw Xiao Mi's disappointed look. She had to get the energy stone as soon as possible so that Xiao Mi could go out. It would be lonely if it stayed here all the time, even though there was everything in the space. After the dumplings were wrapped, Lin Lei first cooked some for Xiao Mi and watched it finish eating. Xiao Mi was happy again. The owner still had her in his heart, so it wasn't that he didn't care. After she finished packing the space, she started to cook and steam the dumplings, thinking about how much food she would bring when she went out later. This was a test for Zheng Cheng. If it was done well, he would go to other places and open up this kind of food shop. First, she would sell the money, then collect some antiques and so on. Slowly, the business would become bigger, and it would be easier to handle. She would also train the manpower as soon as possible. Lin Lei felt that she should train a group of children from a young age. They would be more loyal than these people who came halfway. After the dumplings were cooked, Lin Lei went out of her space. It was not even 5:30 p.m. Hubby, get up and eat. Dumplings. Song Yi immediately got up when he heard the voice. As soon as he casually said it, his wife made dumplings for him. Making dumplings was very tiring. Wife, it smells so good. There are 2 kinds of dumplings. What are the fillings? Song Yi asked in surprise. Lin Lei put the prepared dipping sauce on the table and said proudly, celery beef, chives, shrimp, and eggs. Not bad, right? Song Yi nodded and said, Not bad. My wife is really good to me. This table was full of dumplings. Song Yi was excited. He loved eating dumplings, but there were very few opportunities to eat them. When the dumplings were ready at home, his mother always gave them to him last. When it came to him, she only gave him an extra bowl of dumplings. When his mother saw that she did not have enough to share, she immediately wanted to give him what was in her bowl. How could he have the face to eat it? He always said that he had enough to eat. When Song Yi was young, he felt that dumplings were the best delicacy. Now that he saw a table full of dumplings, he was so excited that he did not know how to use his chopsticks. Lin Lei saw that he did not use his chopsticks to eat the dumplings and immediately asked, What's wrong? It's not hot anymore. The dumplings are only delicious when they're warm. Also, I'm the best at making dipping sauces. Seeing that Song Yi only used his chopsticks now, he took one bite at a time. He felt that he did not chew much and swallowed it. Even though his dumplings were a little small, he was not afraid that he would hurt his stomach. Lin Lei poured a bowl of dumpling soup for Song Yi. Eat slowly. It's all yours. We're going to eat in the city today. Don't hurt your stomach. Song Yi ate 3 plates of dumplings in a row. Only when he felt that his stomach was full did he slow down. The beef and celery were steamed very badly. When the celery and meat were mixed together, it was very fragrant. It was very delicious and filled his mouth with the fragrance of meat. The leek dumplings were very fresh. The wife of the shrimp inside was not minced. The shrimp in his mouth was very tasty, along with the wife's sauce. He ate until he was too full and kept burping. Lin Lei saw that Song Yi was really good at eating. She made more than 200 dumplings, and he ate more than half of them. After the 2 of them finished eating, they simply packed up and left. Lin Lei brought a large jar of pickles for Old Zhao. When Old Zhao heard someone call out to him, he came out and stared at the jar in Song Yi's hand. He estimated that it was at least 5 kilograms. Old Zhao was so happy that he couldn't close his mouth and said, "You still want to go to the city? You two, husband and wife, have such a good relationship." It was good to be young. He was full of envy. He also wanted a wife after his wife joined the army. He also brought his wife out to play. Song Yi handed the jar to old Zhao. "We'll be leaving first. We bought a lot of things today." "Got it. I'll go back to work too," old Zhao replied. The two of them got into the car. When they reached the city, Lin Lei got out of the car and took out 1,000 pounds of rice, white flour, and corn from the space. The things produced in the space could be harvested and stored according to Lin Lei's will. It was very convenient. Lin Lei was grateful that it could be done this way. Otherwise, where would she get the advanced machine for threshing? After getting into the car, Song Yi drove directly to the shop. Zheng Cheng heard the sound of the car stopping and immediately went out of the house. He had arrived at the shop early in the morning and waited. Zheng Cheng said anxiously, "I've been waiting here for a long time. Boss, what are we selling?" Lin Lei pointed at the back of the car and reminded Zheng Cheng, "Look for someone to move the goods. Someone who can work. He won't spread the word, understand?" Zheng Cheng immediately expressed his stance. "Boss, don't worry. There won't be any mistakes." He turned around and ran out to shout. His chubby appearance showed that he didn't slow down at all. Zheng Cheng thought to himself that he had taken a look just now. It looked like bags of grain. This year's grain was all rationed. He didn't know where he got it from. Zheng Cheng figured that he had to find someone to keep his mouth shut. In the future, he would follow his boss to sell grain. If his mouth leaked, he would stir up trouble everywhere. He couldn't use it, so he immediately had a candidate in mind. Lin Lei watched as Zheng Cheng ran quickly to find someone. It was a person who worked quickly. She didn't know how good he was at finding people. Lin Lei and Song Yi waited for half an hour. They watched as Zheng Cheng ran back, drenched in sweat. Behind him were 3 men in their 20s. Their skin was very dark, as if they often worked. Zheng Cheng instructed them, "Carry these in the car into the house. There's a shelf in there. Put them on it gently." The 3 of them did not say a word. They immediately started to work. They were very fast and did not look around. Lin Lei was a little satisfied. These people seemed to be doing their job. The speed was very fast when there were many people. Zheng Cheng was not idle either. He carried them quickly and finished unloading the car in less than 20 minutes. After Zheng Cheng gave them the money, they turned around and left. They did not even look at Lin Lei. "Did you tell them about these people? They look good," Lin Lei said with a sigh. Zheng Cheng hurriedly said, "No, these people are laborers. They just came from the south and are very hardworking." Lin Lei nodded. "Let's talk inside." They were all people who went to the market to buy things. They were not talking about the proper place. After entering the house, Lin Lei said directly to Zheng Cheng, "Zheng Cheng, this is full of grain. Do you dare to sell it?" Zheng Cheng answered seriously, "Yes, of course. Boss, don't worry. How do we calculate the price?" Lin Lei looked at Zheng Cheng with a serious expression. She was smart enough not to ask how the grain came about. Boss should know this year. There is limited food in the grain city, but there is not enough in the countryside. Sometimes, even if you have money, you may not be able to buy grain. So, how we set the price? Lin Lei thought for a while and said, "You will sell it at the same price as them. As for your salary, it will be calculated as a commission. For example, if you sell this rice for 200 yuan for 1,000 jin, I will give you 20%. Lin Lei knew that if she wanted the horse to run, she had to feed him grass. It could be said that there was no cost for her to produce things in her own space. By giving Zheng Cheng a commission, she wanted him to sell the grain as her own. The more she sold it, the more she would earn. The price set the market price was to reduce the trouble caused by competition. Every industry had their own rules. If it was too cheap compared to others, it would be considered a malicious monopoly. Zheng Cheng said decisively, "Boss, I agree. This was an opportunity. If he disposed of this pile of grain, he could earn a few hundred yuan according to his boss's proposal. Although it was risky, there was no risk in doing anything. This was just selling grain, not selling people. As long as he found more brothers, no one would cause trouble. As for the price of grain, he was not worried about that. There were very few people who could sell grain in this time of year. Most families had many children, so the harvest in the fields was not good. There were not many who could sell grain on their own initiative. As for where Boss got the grain from, it was none of his business. As for other people's secrets, his years of experience told him that the less he knew, the better it was for him. Seeing that Zheng Cheng had agreed, Lin Lei realized that it was getting late. She still had some small things to buy. Lin Lei said, "Then I'll leave this place to you. Song Yi and I will go shopping. Don't call me boss anymore." Zheng Cheng was surprised. What should he be called? These two people were younger than him. And why was she so assured of him? Then what should I call you? And don't I need to write a receipt for you? There's so much food. Lin Lei looked up at Song Yi. You call him boss like this, and call me Lady Boss. After a pause, she said, there's no need to write a receipt. Find someone to do the accounts every day. So I'll like this first. When I come back, we'll settle the accounts. If you suspect someone, don't use them. If you use them, don't suspect them. This could be considered a test from both sides. If he ran away with the grain he wanted, she would have a way to find him. Every time she gave him this amount of grain, even if she lost it, it wouldn't be a big problem. So what if she had a contract if she ran away with the grain as if she wanted to? Zheng Cheng replied in surprise. Okay, Lady Boss, I got it. He was surprised that this Lady Boss dared to give him the grain to sell. This meant that she was at ease with him. It could also be said that she was testing him. He would definitely manage this grain store well. This year, her family would not go hungry. They would also have a good new year, which would bring them closer to the rich. Lin Lei left the store with Song Yi after she finished giving her instructions. The rest would be arranged by Zheng Cheng himself. He had lived here for so many years. He should be able to handle the rest of the matters. After getting into the car, Lin Lei said, Hubby, how do you feel? Is he reliable? He's all right. He didn't lie. This is also an opportunity for him. Selling it well is more profitable than doing anything. Lady Boss, Song Yi replied proudly. This was his wife admitting to him in front of outsiders. He was very happy in his heart. His wife would care about his feelings.